Good day, YouTube family. I would like to share with you my experience buying property in Jamaica versus buying property in the UK. Now, I've had experience with both. In Jamaica thus far is that you have a relator who actually stays with you throughout your process of you obtaining a property, which is really good, and I really like that, because in the UK you have estate agents, where you have an estate agent in most of the boroughs that you go to in the UK. So wherever you're buying a property in the UK, you deal with that particular agent that is in that area. In Jamaica, whereas in Jamaica you have a relator, where you would see a property, you might look up online, you would see a property, you would call your relator, you will tell them you want this property and whatever the case may be, or your relator might find some properties because you would give them an insight into what you're looking for. They would find a property and they would send through a few properties for you, and you go and you do the viewings for this property, which I like. Okay, in the UK, you would be calling an estate agent to view a property. Some of them will take your details, they tell you I'll call you back. Sometimes the days gone, you call them, they take your details again, and sometimes it goes in a circle. Sometimes the property that you want, you don't end up getting. Sometimes it end up goes because obviously they don't come back to you on time. All right, whereas in Jamaica, your relator make sure that you get access to the property on time, and also they make sure you get to see the properties that you want to see. And some other points that I would like to share with you guys is that I am actually in the process of looking for a property at the moment in Jamaica. I'm not based in Jamaica. I'm not living in Jamaica. I'm in Jamaica on holiday. My husband is Jamaican. I am Trinidadian. But my husband has actually come back to Jamaica, and he has decided to stay in Jamaica. So we actually decided to buy a property in Jamaica. So we're not paying rent. As you know, rent is basically waste of money. You may as well buy a property. What I look for when I am property hunting, I look for the location, the type of location it's in, whether it's a safe location, whether it's good for kids to grow up in, things like that is very important. The site, for example, the site is as to where the property is situated, how close it is to other houses. Sometimes you might have a house where you have a neighbor right next to you and you have no privacy. Basically, you have no privacy. I'm the type of person that is not happy with something like that. I'm not happy with somebody looking in on me, so things like that I actually look for when buying a property. I take all this into consideration. All right. I also take into consideration my kitchen size, storage space in my kitchen, and the area where my appliances is based. In my house, my kitchen is the most important part for me beside my bedroom. Okay. And another thing I actually I take into consideration when I am looking to buy a property or when I am purchasing a property is alteration to the property, because some people make alteration to properties that they don't get permission to do. And when to sell back that property, you may purchase that property over that person, and when time to sell it back, you can't. Or if your children is to inherit this property, they're not able to sell it off. It loses the value because you've done things on that property that you weren't given permission to do, right? So therefore, you have actually reduced the value of your property. So I take that very important and a part of my criteria when I'm looking for a property as well. I also look at the amount of staircase, like the inside of the property, how it's located, the room situation, whether there is a lower or a ground floor bedroom. I look for the amount of stairs in the property. You know, something might happen to you and you may not be able to climb the stairs. So, you know, I look for things like that I can facilitate myself if, or my husband, in case anything is to happen. I have a ground floor bedroom. I also take into consideration the number of rooms. I don't want too much of a huge house that I cannot maintain, and at the same time I do not want a 2 bedroom or 1 bedroom, because sometimes you have family come to stay, you might have friends come to stay, and you have nowhere to accommodate them. You have to give up your room, you know, and to accommodate family and friends. But so I always take into consideration at least 3 4 bedroom properties. Very important for me. Parking space, very important as well. I don't like parking on the road. When you park on the road, you actually putting your vehicle in access for damages, because sometimes people pass and they scratch your car. They might sit down on your car, or you know, lean on your car, make dents on your car. So I like a property with a garage or a drive-in parking where my car is parked up in my yard. With saying that, I actually I am in the process at the moment. I have viewed a few property in Jamaica over the last few days, and I quite like what I see, but I find some of the properties that they have on the market is overpriced for what you get. I saw a property yesterday where it was really in a really bad state, and the value of the property were overpriced. It was really overpriced. Some of them worth the money, and some of them I would say really does worth the money. Some of them you will even pay more for what it is they're calling for that property, because you see the potential in that property, whereas some of them is overpriced, wouldn't pay or wouldn't even consider buying it to even say. Because you know, sometimes you might buy a property and okay, you might be looking for a property and you know they need a better refurbishing, because sometimes you buy a property, you know, you don't want to move in straight away. You want to do a better refurbishing, you want to put your own touch to that property and stuff like that. So it's how should I say it, it's like, you know, you wouldn't go looking for a new brand property, or you wouldn't go looking for, me personally, I should say, I don't go looking for new brand properties. I when I'm buying a property, I buy a property that I can put my own touch to it, that I can, you know, that it can feel like my home, because I know how I have actually adjusted that property, or what I've done with that property. Like I change out my baths, I change out my toilets, stuff like that. You know, I like my own personal input. So as a result of that, when I'm looking for property, I look for something that, okay, I would not pay a huge amount for. I buy something in a range where I have, okay, if I have a certain amount of money, I could say, all right, if I have $2,000, I would look for a property maybe $1,500 or $1,200, that the rest of that money I would use to bring that property up to my standard. So guys, I would like to make a little suggestion to you guys who is interested in buying properties in Jamaica, or interested in buying a property in Jamaica, where the realtor is concerned. You may be wondering how to get in contact with a realtor. You basically contact the estate agent. They will attach a realtor to you, and that realtor have access to any property in Jamaica. Once it's on the market for sale, they have access to it. They would contact all the agents, all the estate agents in Jamaica where the property is situated, which you have requested to view, and they will go on viewings with you. Okay, so so that's what I have to say. And if you need any more information, feel free to ask me. I am willing to answer any questions I'm able to answer. See you soon.